Nigat Arif. BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. We have still got a lot of things to get through. I'll be reflecting on Sankranti, which is a major Hindu festival. It's now 14 minutes to 9. Hindus in the three counties have been celebrating a major festival this weekend, Sankranti. It's a harvest festival, and in South India, it's given as much significance as Diwali. Here to tell us more about it is Prashanth Elangovan, who's a member of the Hindu temple in Watford. Good morning, Prashanth.
Good morning, God. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for being us. How have you been celebrating Sankranti this year?
Oh, it's a pleasant break for us to have Sankranti because of what we've been through with the lockdown and COVID. It's a wonderful festival, like you said. It's a harvest festival, especially very popular in South India, particularly in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and so on. Here in England, Hindus, we don't typically celebrate the festival for over 3 days. It's more of a one-day festival. It's on the 14th of this month. So this Friday, which was 14th, we all went to the temple, and we had prayers at home as well, and then we made wonderful sweets and food to eat.
Mm-hmm. God, lots of food. That's exactly how it should be. And in the festival, I understand there's all kinds of things that you're doing, but how has it been under lockdown? Have you been able to do it in person, or has it been remotely?
The last couple of years, we have not been really able to go to the temple, or most of the time it wasn't lockdown, it was remote. And also, usually for these festivals, we have friends around, and even for the prayers, and then food is distributed. That wasn't really possible the last couple of years. I think for the first time, with a bit of care and caution, we have been able to meet up with closer circles and bubbles and celebrate the festival. So it has been a welcome break this year.
So, Prashanth, a lot of our listeners will be going, what is the significance? What's the meaning and religious meaning behind Sankranti?
So it's really, as you said, it's a harvest festival. It's the beginning of harvest in India particularly. And that's in the solar calendar for the Hindus, the sun starts moving northwardly towards Capricorn, and that's what this signifies. And it also starts the beginning of the calendar as well for the month. And so the 3 days that typically are celebrated are Bogi, which is the 13th of February, January. Usually. And then that is the day when, in India, they burn up all the old things and discard all old things. So it signifies the discarding, closing the account for the old year, preparing for the new year to start for the harvest festival, followed by Pongal the next day, which is the 14th of January. And that's the day when people actually celebrate the beginning of harvest. And Sankranti or Pongal, where lots of food is then prepared from what is typically harvested. It's very rice-based food usually, and also lots of jaggery is used as well, because sugarcane is one of the major crops there in India.
And how do people in India and Sri Lanka mark this? Because obviously you said food and it's a harvest festival, but do they mark it just with food, or is there any other rituals involved?
Oh, there's actually usually people go to the temple after Bogi, which once all the burning and discarding is done. On Pongal, there's always people go to the temple, they pray, there are pujas, rituals that people do. But also, there is also puja that people have in their farmlands, at homes. Here in England, we do that at homes. So we actually have a lot of Hindus have puja rooms in their homes. And so we have the puja in the house, where after we cook all these dishes, we present it to the gods, the idols of the gods, and then have a puja and a prayer.
And what's your favourite dish? Because I'm loving this idea of food. I mean, obviously, a lot of festivals are around food. So what's your favourite dish?
So Pongal is like the backbone of the South Indian version of Sankranti, which is Pongal, which is really a rice and lentil-based food. But then there are variations of that with jaggery mixed in it as well, with raisins and nuts. And so it's a very rich food, wonderful to have, especially when the festival comes around.
So, sorry to interrupt you. My understanding was also that people have a dip in the Ganges River at this time as well, and I wondered whether, with the COVID rates being so high, how is that? Is there a stop on that at the minute? Are people worried about being a risk? Do people still practice that currently?
It's certainly being practiced. Sankranti or Mahashankranti, which is Makar Sankranti, which is once in a 12 years, there's a major one as well with a solar calendar. Mm-hmm. So there are thousands and thousands of people who go into the various rivers in India that are holy rivers, not just Ganges. There's Godavari and Yamuna. So they all go there and they have a dip. So that's still practiced. In fact, 2019 there was a very large congregation despite COVID. So I think the religious sentiment is quite strong, and this, in some ways, COVID doesn't seem to be an issue with this, I suppose.
No, of course. And I guess at this time, do we say Happy Sankranti? Is that how we say it?
That is correct. Happy Sankranti, Happy Pongal.
Happy Sankranti to everybody. Thank you for being with us.